Hey guys, I'm Casey and I am going to the Renaissance World Tour. Hello. You're currently on the phone with Casey K. Yep, that's me. You heard that right. I'm going to see Beyonce for the first time. I've never seen her. I'm pretty excited. I actually don't know a lot of the songs she's playing. I'm kind of sad. I wish she would play more of the more popular ones, but it is the Renaissance tour, so it makes sense. Um, I'm just excited to be there. So, uh, yeah, because everyone says she's the greatest performer of all time. So I need to see it for myself. I wasn't actually planning on going. Like it had been in the back of my mind, like I wanted to, but I didn't really have anyone to go with. Technically, like I could have asked somebody, but I've already been a lot of places this year. I know that sounds very annoying of me to say, but I have. This has been a good year. I will say this has been a pretty good year. So I was just gonna be like, I'll sit this one out and do the next one. But I had a friend ask me to go with them in Vegas, and then we asked two more of our friends, and it kind of just turned into this thing. We're literally leaving today. The concert is today in Vegas, so we're driving down there. Hopefully, have time for a nap, maybe some shopping, and coming home in the morning. But yeah, I'm very, very excited. Uh, so I'll let you know how it goes. I'm leaving in less than an hour, but I've got a whole list of stuff to talk about, and I'm actually really excited. I was telling everybody last week as soon as I ended the last one, I was like, I want to record the next episode. Like, I'm super excited to do this. So, anyways, we're back. Um, let's get into it. So, speaking of Beyonce, she requested everybody that's going to the concert from now until Virgo season's over. She wants them all to wear silver. Her birthday is September 4th. So she's like, my birthday wish is to be surrounded by, let's see, what does she say? We'll surround ourselves in a shimmering human disco ball each night, everybody mirroring each other's joy. Virgo season together in the House of Chrome. My birthday wish is to celebrate with you wearing your most fabulous silver fashions from the shows 8/23 to 9/22. And so I guess apparently Etsy's stores, some of them have like seen huge surges in traffic and purchasing. One of them says there's like a 200% increase in sales, 400% increase in traffic. So that's the power of Queen Bee. But I did not buy something off Etsy. I bought something off Amazon. And yeah, I actually was supposed to wear these one pants and I cannot find them anywhere. I have torn this house apart and they are nowhere to be found. So I probably have to stop and get some new ones on the way down. But oh well, I'm not complaining that I have to go shopping. So, in some sad news, I don't know if any of you watched Price is Right. I never really did. It was just kind of one of those things that was on when I was at my grandparents' house when I was little, in the mornings. But Bob Barker passed away. He was 99. And there's a joke that's already super old on the internet that said, Bob Barker got as close as he could to 100 without going over. And I've seen it probably 50 times. So I think we can put that one to rest. Yeah, that one's over. But he was on The Price is Right for 35 years, and it's the longest running game show in American history. So, RIP, what a legend. In Kylie Jenner news, this has actually been around for a while, but I want to talk about it because I really, really hope it's true. And because the new Wonka trailer came out recently, which I guess people didn't like. I'll have to look more into it, but people said it was like cheesy or something. I didn't think so. I thought it was interesting. Anyways, there's a rumor that Kylie Jenner and Timothy Chalamet are dating, and I think that is I just love that so much because everyone's like, why? I'm like, because it's so unexpected. Like you would never expect her to date Timothy Chalamet. Like yeah, he's like I don't know if you consider him A-list probably now, but I don't know. Like they don't really date actors; they date like musicians or athletes or I don't know business people. But I just love this so much. Like the Billionaire The Boy. Like what a awesome title. So I will keep you updated on that because I personally have a interest in that. So we'll see how that turns out. Apparently, Scooter Braun, who if you're not aware who that is, he is not a good person. He is the one that bought all of Taylor Swift's music out from under her in that shady deal that her record label did with him without letting her know. And so that's why she's re-recording all her music, because she doesn't want him to have control of her masters. Some stuff's going down apparently. Like his wife filed for divorce, I think sometime this year, maybe. Yeah, because Taylor Swift wrote the song "Vigilante Shit," and it's obviously about Scooter, and she says in it something about giving the file to the FBI, and so people are like speculating what if she really did that, because like right now Demi Lovato, Justin Bieber, Ariana Grande, I don't even know Idina Menzel was um, on his lineup of people he manages a lot more people than I thought. Anyways, and Carly Rae Jepsen are all supposedly leaving and dropping him as a manager. So people are wondering like, is stuff going down? What's going on? His wife left him. Like, what was in that FBI file that Taylor gave? But we'll just have to see. I hope. I don't know. Hope something. I don't know. Apparently, he's going to be CEO of some company he's built, but I don't believe. I'm sure that might happen. I don't believe that that's why all these people are leaving. Someone said that, well, he's just going to be too busy, so he's having to let go of the manager side and just focus on the CEO side. But I just don't believe that. I think something else is going on. He seems shady and like not a nice guy. But oh well. Also in Taylor Swift news, a security guard, I think it was in, where was it? Minneapolis. He got fired for asking fans to take photos of him. Apparently, he got the job just to go so he could go to like, see events for free. And he said the main goal was to be able to see Taylor Swift, because he went in 2018 to the Reputation tour, and he started asking security guards like how they got the job and if they liked it and if it was worth it and if you could see the show. So he did that and he ended up getting a job, and he was like right next to Taylor. So the first night he saw how close she would get to him and all that stuff. So the next night he handed out little notes to people in the stands, um, and asked them to record videos of him when she was right next to him, or pictures, and then send them to him. And apparently, I don't know how his company found out, but they did, and they fired him, which is super annoying. But I will say I do believe that, because when we went to the Eras tour, we there was a security guard right in front of us, and it was like the very end of the show. She had left the stage, and like the confetti was like still falling, and they were actually starting to clean up. And my friend Catherine was like, "Do you want us to take a picture of you?" And he's like, yeah, sure," because he was like dancing the whole night and having fun and like trying to look back, but not really because he'd get in trouble. And it just like it felt so bad for him, because like we were like enjoying the show so much, and he was just standing there like wanting to watch with everybody. But as we were taking a picture of him, another guy walked by, and he's like, she asked if I wanted my picture taken. I didn't ask her. He's like, I don't care what you do. like like apparently it's a big deal in uh like that the companies that hire these people to do these events, which I get. They don't want them all like fawning over the artists and not paying attention, and like um but I get it, but I don't think you should fire people over it. Like that's just ridiculous. So that is unfortunate, but I don't think that was his full-time job. I think that was kind of just a side job so he could go to all these free events, which I couldn't stop anybody if they tried to rush the stage. So I don't think I could be a good security guard. I'd probably be like, hey, stop, don't do that. Yeah, that's probably not a good idea. You don't want to do that. Like I would be the worst security guard, bodyguard, whatever. Yeah, that is just not the field for me. Okay, sorry. There's so much information that I want to tell everyone, but I forget some when I write it down, or like in my head I'm like, oh, I'll remember that. But there's just so much that sometimes I skip over it. And so I'm kind of reading off of a little like cue card type thing, um because I just don't want to forget really important stuff, because this is like life altering information. Anyways, the next thing we have is Teenage Dream. The album turned 13 on the 24th of August, which is just absolutely insane to me because I remember when it came out, and it just makes me feel old. And also is just, it seems like it's still that time to me. I have a really hard time with aging and time, and I know it's not like unique to me, but it really bugs me, and I hate it, and it just goes by so fast. So to hear 13 years just makes me feel like a fossil, like literally. But I will say I am super glad that this album came out when I was in high school. Like, it's just like the best album of all time. I think everyone can kind of agree on that. I know everyone else has like their favorite albums, but this album was like literally pop perfection. And she spared no expense. The advertising was insane. Just everything about it was so good. This is what I meant like last week when I said I don't think pop stars want to be pop stars anymore. Um, they just they just don't do it like they did at this time in 2010. Like 2010, well maybe like 2008 to 2012 or 13. Maybe 13. I feel like that was like the last big year of promoting albums. That's like when Bangers came out, Art Pop, Prism, Lord's Pure Heroine album, I think came out in 2013. Like that was just like the last big year of actual publicity of albums and big pushes. And anyways, so yeah, 13 years, Teenage Dream. The first week it sold 192,000 copies and it went right to number one as it deserves. It charted in the top 40 for 3 years in a row, which is incredible. It has five number one singles, which that is unheard of. Like, this album went on forever, and albums usually don't do like maybe a year or two, a year and a half, two maybe, but five number one singles. So let's see, there's Firework, California Girls, Last Friday Night, Teenage Dream, and E.T. And the one that got away, which is the best pop song in the entire world, I would argue the best song in the entire world, was number three, which I do not get. What was wrong with everybody? Like, that song is just, I just need it injected into my veins at all times because it truly is the best song ever. It's just, it's like one of those songs that you just like belt out in the car, and it's like sad and it's relatable even though it's not like specific to you, but the way she talks about like experiences, you just like, oh yeah, it reminds me of this time, or it just feels so relatable, and it's sad and the music video is sad, and it's just a good song for when you're feeling sad and just want to scream sing in the car. Anyways, I'm getting off topic. By 2013, the album had sold 6 million copies worldwide. The album was the first in history to sell over 50 million singles. That's a lot of singles. That's like insane. I think now, I could be wrong, but I think now she has sold over 100 million singles. That's including all of her discography, which that's insane to me. I just can't fathom that many that many songs being sold, but it's true. I mean, I believe it because she's Katy Perry, but still. Today, as of today, the album sold over 12 million copies, certifying it as a diamond album, which is incredible in my mind. Diamond is when they sell 10 million copies or more. So, yeah, it's more than diamond. Technically, it's diamond. What is it? 12 times platinum, I guess. Platinum's a million, diamond's 10 million. Yeah, it has two diamond singles. I think that's wrong though. I think they need to update that. But Firework and California Girls, and I'm pretty sure I follow all these Katie stan accounts on Twitter, and yes, I'm still calling it Twitter. I will not call it the other name. And they're like, I wish Capitol Records would get to work and submit all of Katie's work because I think there's like one or two other songs on this album that need to be diamond. Which, yeah, I don't know. I don't know about you guys, but that is my favorite album probably of all time. One of them. So Taylor has finished the first leg of the U.S. tour. She's coming back. I think it's next year. Not to very many cities though. I've heard a rumor that she's gonna announce more, which I hope because they're really random cities, like Miami and New Orleans, and then Indiana. Like, that's what a weird what a weird place to go. Anyways, but so she's in Mexico right now. I think she's on night three, right now, or night three was last night, and her surprise songs were Cornelia Street and You're on Your Own, Kid, which those are good songs. Those are really good songs. Like, I didn't mind mine. Mine were fine. The first the first one we went to was Cowboy Like Me and White Horse, which was really good. She brought out Marcus Mumford. The second one, why am I spacing on the second one? Hang on one second. The second concert was Tied Together with a Smile and Message in a Bottle, which those are good, but I don't know. I really wanted Back to December. I hate Denver for getting that. Back to December, The Great War, those ones would have been absolutely incredible. Um, I can't wait until she finally does Me. I like that song, but it's universally known to everybody. Like, most people don't like it, which I don't get. It's not, people are like, it's so annoying. Not really. It's fun. It's a fun song to sing. Just like, live a little. Don't be so uptight. Like, not every song has to be this beautiful poetic ballad. Like, it can be a fun, like, dancing song too. So, anyways, that's my rant for that. I wasn't planning on saying that, but there you go. There's my opinion on me. But I saw a TikTok once of a just recently of a girl who was um like dancing around to Taylor Swift, and she's like, I'm sad, depressed. What did she say? Sad that I couldn't get Cornelia Street as my surprise song, but happy that no one else has gotten it either. But sorry to that girl, because Mexico City got it, and I am very jealous of them because that's a good song. It's probably one of my favorites off of Lover. So Friday was a big day for new singles for pop girlies like Miley and Selena. They both released songs. They're very different from each other. I didn't mind Selena's. I will say I haven't listened to it again since the first listen. It just, it's a good song. It just does not seem like a song that an A-list pop star would sing. It seems more like one like maybe Sabrina Carpenter, or maybe Ava Max, or um, Madison Beer. Like, I love all those girls, but I don't know. It just seemed really, really quickly written, and not, I don't know, just not a lot of thought put behind it. It's fun. It's a fun song. I will say though, the dress she wears in it is gorgeous. It reminds me a lot of the dress that Dua Lipa wore to. I guess it wasn't a dress, like it was, and then she took it off during her performance, and underneath it was just like kind of like a top and a bottom. But I think it was Versace at the 2021 Grammys, and it's like this sparkly pink dress, and it fits perfectly, and that I did like. And the music video was fun. I'm not saying I don't like the song, but it's just not my favorite. But Miley's, on the other hand, um, I feel like it hit everybody in the feels because it's just super nostalgic, and you could tell in the music video it's just her standing there crying and singing. And she, like, some of the lyrics are, I don't dress the same, I used to be crazy, I used to be fun, you say I used to be wild, I say I used to be young. um, and she released that on August 25th, and she's like, this August 25th has always had like a an important meaning in my head or something, or it's been a significant time, like day. And I had a feeling that that was when the 2013 VMAs were, and like that's when everybody started criticizing her, and it was. But I also didn't realize it was when Wrecking Ball came out, and it came out the same day, and I think the music video came out a few weeks later in September. Um, but that's just when she started getting criticized like crazy. Like, she already had, because she cut her hair off, and the music video to We Can't Stop was a little more risky than what she was used to doing. But that that performance kind of really um, changed the trajectory of her career and her life. Actually, she said she stopped wearing bikinis after that because people kept putting side by side pictures of her and like a turkey, like like when you're ready to cook, what do they call it? I don't a plucked turkey. What am I trying to say? Like one that's ready to be put in the oven. And she felt just super embarrassed because people were comparing her to that, calling her turkey legs. And I read an article. It was her British Vogue one, and she's like, I look back at it, and at the time, like it didn't bother me, but I look back at it now, and I was basically a kid. I was a child, and all these people, all these grown adults, were saying such horrible, awful things to me, and about me, and I just would never do that to somebody, especially somebody that young, and I I agree with her. Back at the time, I was what was I 18? I would have been 18, and so at the time I just felt like I don't know. I at that age I felt pretty old. Like I felt like I was so old I knew everything and I did not. I did not know a thing. But just back at that time you don't really see it that way. But looking back at it now it's like yeah, she was a kid. She was just young and having fun and actually Katy Perry that's when she performed Roar and she was like literally at the top of her game and super famous. She was on a I just saw a video on Twitter. She was on a morning news station or whatever and I feel like they were trying to get her to talk bad about Miley and she just wasn't having it. She's like they showed a clip of her twerking on Robin Thicke, who I don't like Robin Thicke, but whatever. And they're like, "So what are your thoughts on this?" And Katie was just like, well, isn't she like 19 or 20? She's like, I was doing just as wild and crazy things as that when I was her age. Like, I don't see a problem with it. So I'm happy that she like Katie took the high road and was nice about it because, well, honestly, Katie probably doesn't have any room to talk because she was literally shooting whipped cream out of her boobs in California Dreams music video, which isn't a bad thing. I mean, you can do whatever you want, but like it'd be kind of hypocritical of her. She's like, yeah, she's just so wild. She needs to settle down. Like, no, she doesn't. She can do whatever she wants. She's a pop star, and she's having fun. And she knew she was making history. She knew what she was doing. She wanted to get those album sales, and it worked. Um, yeah, but it's just kind of sad. She looks back on it now and realizes actually how hard it was, and how much it actually affected her. And it's just the lyrics the song's really good. If you haven't heard it you need to listen to it. It's really really good. She worked on it for like 18 months and I think it was just kind of one of those things that you keep coming back to. Like you work on it a little bit, think about it, come back to it. So but I hope this is like an entrance into like another phase of Endless Summer Vacation. I think I talked about that last week, how there might be a second part to it, which I really hope's true, because in all of her advertising or whatever, she says Endless Summer Vacation continued. And then it says Backyard Sessions, which is like where she sits in her backyard and just kind of sings um, acoustic versions of the songs, which are really good. But just another part of that album would be so good. I'd be such a happy boy. Miss Iggy herself also released a new song, which is it's pretty good. I've actually like her a lot, and I have followed her still since the big when she was super popular. You know, doing Fancy and Work and Black Widow and all that stuff. Um, but she obviously isn't as famous as she used to be, and people are kind of hard on her. The song's good. The music video is good. She produces everything by herself now. She left her record label, which I think it was P Diddy. I could be wrong. Who she was with? No, no, no. Oh, what's that guy's name? Uh, you could have whatever. Ti. It's Ti. He was her manager, I think. I could be wrong. I'll research that and let you know next week if I'm wrong. But she left him his label or whatever because she just didn't like what was going on there. But she's just kind of been independent and released songs when she's wanted to throughout the last 10 years or so. And someone on Twitter was like, Iggy, why don't you release more music? And she's like, y'all don't like my cooking. She's actually really funny on Twitter. I like her a lot. This song is not one you'll probably want to listen to with your kids. It's kind of dirty, but still fun. She still does have good music. So if you're not a hater to her, which I think a lot of people are, like my cousin showed me this tweet the other day and it said Iggy Azalea threatens to release new music, and we could not stop laughing because that's hilarious. But also, I don't agree with that because I like her music. It's just funny how they worded it. Threatens to. All right, last thing on the agenda is Nicki Minaj. I don't know if this is new. I just saw it on TikTok. But Nicki Minaj is apparently in the new Call of Duty. And she actually looks like super realistic. And she has all these catchphrases. But one of my favorites was, I need an FREAK 47. And I'm the alpha, the omega, everything in between. But I don't know how many slogans she has on there, but these ones are good ones. And on TikTok they do like a whole list of them. I think it's such a random collab, but also kind of funny. Good for her. She's supposedly has a new album coming out, Pink Friday 2. Well, I don't know if it's just Pink Friday 2 or Pink Friday Volume 2, which I really, really, really hope it's the same as, like, the same vibe as Pink Friday because that album was so good. I like her other albums too. They're okay. The Pink Print, I will say, is fantastic. But, like, Queen was okay. But, like, Pink Friday, the Pink Print. What was the one? Roman Holiday? It's Pink Friday Roman Reloaded, and that's the one with like starships and bees in the trap, bees in the trap, Young Forever, you a stupid hoe, you a stupid hoe. Oh, I didn't know Turn Me On was on this one. I thought it was just David Guetta's song. That song was so popular. I actually got to see where they recorded like the music video for Starships. It was in Hawaii. Such a random video, but in a random place to record it. I don't. Anyways, I've seen it, so there's that. But that's all I have right now. I actually am running late. I gotta go shower and get ready and go meet my friends so I can go see Beyonce. And then I'll let you guys know what the concert was like next week. But thanks for listening. Also, I have like the analytics on this, on whatever this podcast thing, and it says someone from Germany is listening. That is like so cool to me. That's the only. It's like United States and Germany. Um, there's also someone like South Carolina, Arizona, California. Um, Most of it, like 89% of it's in Utah. So, also it is on. I didn't realize this, but it is on Amazon and on Apple. So you can listen to it on there too if you prefer those ones. But Spotify's like the main one. This is day 2, episode 2, I guess. So I hope you guys had fun and thank you for listening. I appreciate it so much. Yeah, I don't really know what an outro would be for me. If you guys think of anything, let me know. Like send me ideas of outros I could do. But as of right now, it's just gonna be bye.